yeah. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Time for last minute betting. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company for sports bettors worldwide. We got a couple of guys that are still playing. Connor McDavid, Rory's playing this week. The rest of them ain't doing too well. All right, yes. Don't forget about the OddsJam Partner Program. You know what? 50% revenue share, folks. 50% revenue share. Go there now. Link below in the description. Don't forget about the picks on DubClub. Me, Mike, and Tony with a 14-day free trial. Whether you're going for the Golf Gurus picks or the Sports Nuts picks, link below in the description for both of those. Let's go. Let's make some money. I have had a 7 in a row, an 8 in a row, a 4 in a row, and a 9 in a row NHL picks in my DubClub so far this hockey season. If you would have been tailing me, you'd have made a lot of money. And there's Mike. Now, Mike, I've already prepared Jabari for what I'm gonna talk about here, because we've got to talk about this Minnesota-Dallas series, which, you know, Dallas should have they should have won the game, is what they should have done, because you really don't need to be going. Minnesota, I believe totally 199% is winning the next game. All right. But I got two things I want to talk to you about. Here's the first one. After the game the other night, after game 3 when they lost, yeah, I've been hearing Shaq and Charles. Charles started it, you know. Get your big ass in the paint. And Shaq said it the other night. He said, Cat, I don't care how many threes you shoot, get your big ass in the paint and let's make some noise down there. And I honestly think that, well, we had an injury last night, didn't we? Is it Finley that got hurt? Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
No.
I mean, Lively's out. Lively.
Lively. What did I even say?
Yeah, Lively's been out though. They already said he was going to be out.
Yeah, he was out.
He got hurt the game 3.
Okay. Well, here's bottom line is doesn't he make a difference?
Yes and no.
Okay, go ahead.
To me, to be quite honest, Dallas really should have buttoned this game up. Kyrie made quite a couple crucial mistakes at the end of the game. He threw away the last possession when they were down by 3. He was trying to do too much. He was getting double teamed. They blitzed him. And he was trying to do too much. Luka passed up a lot of shots. I don't like that. In the game, you passed up a lot of shots. This isn't the time for you to be unselfish. This is the time for you to be selfish. They were within striking distance. And then, I mean, if it technically weren't for Cat hitting those two 3-pointers to put them up 6 points towards the end, Dallas would have won this game. But
yeah, that's true. But I'm going with the comments that Chuck and Shaq have been making this series.
I mean,
correct. And he should still be in the paint. He should not be shooting those threes. Like, granted, he hit 4 for 5 threes. But the fact of the matter is, this Cat was a non-factor for most of the game until the 4th. He had 5 fouls before the 4th. He sat pretty much all of the 4th, except for the last 3 to 4 minutes. He had 3 fouls in the first half. So, he still needs to be in the paint for me. And just, right. I've been saying this since last game. Rudy Gobert should not be starting. Naz Reid should be starting.
Ooh, that's big. Defensive Player of the Year not starting?
He's getting cooked. I don't care what anybody says. Rudy's been getting exposed. The only reason he wins Defensive Player of the Year is because of all the blocks. But in my opinion, Wemby should have won that award this year. If we're going off blocks and steals and one-on-one defense, Wemby was way better statistically than he was.
Okay. All right. Very good stuff there, Jabari. Go ahead, Mike. You can jump in with some comments there.
No, I mean, I don't really have anything. I mean, that was a game. If you're Dallas, you wanted to put them away. You don't want this to continue on. I mean, let's face it, Luka needs some rest. Some rest would be key for him, and Boston's already finished. So they're going to be plenty rested up. If you're Dallas, the rest would be important for someone like Luka. And now you got to get back on a plane and go to Minnesota, and you've won 2 games there already, but you know how tough that's going to be to win a 3rd game in that building. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if Dallas wins this next game now. And now you've got a 6-game series at least, and if it goes 7, even worse, for Dallas.
Well, let's face it, whoever wins game 5 is winning the series.
Well, I don't know that.
If Dallas wins game 5, the series is over. And
well, obviously, but if Minnesota wins, they still got to go back to Dallas. So I don't know that, that guarantees Minnesota's winning this series yet. I mean, Dallas just needs to find a way to win one more game.
If I'm placing money on it, okay, I'm telling you right now, whoever usually wins game 5, the majority of the time, it may only
but Bob, this was a 3-0 series.
I know that. I realize that.
And a game 5 when you're tied, but when you're up 3-1 and lose game 5, that doesn't translate to losing the series a lot.
Never happened in Major League Baseball until the Red Sox did it to the Yankees.
Well, yeah,
Mariano Rivera.
Okay. We understand it's possible, but you can't tell me then that if the winner of game 5 is winning this series when Minnesota was down 3-0, they're still down 3-2 and got to go back to Dallas. It's not like they're in a great spot here. I mean, I don't think I'm panic mode for Dallas yet, but it's certainly not as good as it could have been.
But Mike, there are those of you in the Rangers Hurricanes series who thought that the Hurricanes had a shot at coming back. Okay, if anybody has a shot, it would be Minnesota, the number 2 team in the West, and really number 1 for most of the year. Let me ask you, Jabari,
3.
If they win game 5, if they win game 5, do they come back and win this series?
No, only because I say game 6 is going to be back in Dallas.
Right.
And
exactly.
Dallas has been great at home. The only slip up, in my opinion, that they've had has been the last game. But to be honest, this is still an if they win a game 5. Dallas won 2 games in Minnesota already.
Yeah.
And I do think Minnesota has, I think it will be tough for Dallas to win that 3rd game in Minnesota, especially now, but doesn't mean they can't. I mean,
right.
Doesn't mean they can. I mean, chances are this is going to be a close game, 1 possession, 2 possession game, final 3 minutes. And when you got Kyrie and Luka, regardless, you got a shot, So it comes down to that. Dallas still has a great chance of winning this thing in 5. And so, yeah, I think Dallas still wins this series.
Okay. All right. Jabari, you feel the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I get you. Now, if this is the case, Cubs, Brewers, Nerfy, Orioles, Red Sox, Nerfy. I like the second one
the most.
Yeah, I don't know who's on the mound for the Cubs and Brewers.
I think Cubs have been on an 11 game Nerfy streak.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I think the last 11 games for the Cubs, it's been no Nerfies. I had to double check that for you, but I saw something on Twitter pretty interesting, and I've been riding it ever since.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that the Orioles Red Sox one. I mean, that one worried me yesterday, Justin. You brought that one up and ended up busting. I do like it. I mean, Burns and Crawford on the mound, but again, with those 2 lineups, it does worry me, because Boston's top of the lineup is decent too. So I worry with that one a little bit.
I'll ride it with you. And by the way, the golf picks are not posted yet. They will be posted tonight after Tony gets done at the Tampa Rays game. So that'll happen tonight. So you'll get them later on. Don't worry, they tee off tomorrow. So I'm just going to say this, and Jabari, I need to figure out why nobody likes Jason Tatum besides the fact that he hasn't won a championship, and he's about to win a championship this year. I'm just saying. They're 12-2 in the playoffs, and people are complaining that they haven't played that good.
Sorry,
No, you're right.
Like we're about to have another storm here is what's happening.
It
it's
sounded like
crazy outside right now. Why nobody likes Jason Tatum? I'll put it to you like this. He doesn't win a championship this year. I don't want to hear a peep about Jason Bethune-Tatum. Okay. I don't want to hear anything about him in the offseason. I don't want to hear anything about him next year because this is the best team you've ever had.
Yep.
And if you can't do it with this team, shame on you. I don't care. Shame on you.
Well, Jrue Holiday is going to have a lot to say about that because as we talked off air before the show started, I really didn't realize how good he was defensively. Like I really didn't know.
Always has been.
Until watching. Okay, I got you. But until watching him closely. And holy cow, guys, he's a badass.
Yeah. No, he's a very, very good two-way player. His defense is outstanding. So yeah, I mean he's been a huge pickup for them, and this is their year. Yeah, they got to get it done. There's no reason they shouldn't. And the problem with Boston is they play down to their competition a lot. At times. I know you could say, well, they won 4-1, 4-1, 4-0. But I mean, no Halliburton in those two games in Indiana easily could have lost them. And then the
Not
game
like they blew him out either.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then the series against Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell goes out. They do end up losing a game in that series. And same with Miami, no Butler. Sometimes they just play down to their competition. Even in some of those games they won, they didn't play great. And it's like, why are you doing this? There's no reason that you should play down to your competition like that. And that worries you because then when you play a team that is on your level, now all of a sudden you're struggling because you've been playing down to the competition. You've been playing so much. You don't really have anything good going because the defenses are better now. The offenses for the other team are, of course, Indiana's lethal offensively. I guess we got to give them that. Number one scoring offense in the league. So their offense was definitely lethal, but I mean, let's face it, man, the Pacers weren't that great of a team, and they played two games in Indiana that they're really fortunate they won either of them.
Okay, but here's the bottom line, guys. Where does it say anywhere that you can dominate the playoffs and you have to beat the hell out of every team by, double digits or more? Who cares? A W is a W.
I'm not saying that they have to blow out every team. I'm saying you should be blowing out the teams we know you're better than. That's it. It's that simple. Like when Minnesota blew out the Suns, it was very evident that the T-Wolves were drastically better than the Suns. Way better. Hands down. Okay? Even with Denver blew them out. Minnesota blew them out. But it still went to a 7-game series. Like, it's still, you make adjustments, et cetera, et cetera. The Celtics, you played the Heat. Okay, cool. You gave up a game at home to the Heat, which you can't do in the NBA Finals.
Right.
You barely won against Indiana in all 4 games, and that was a non-healthy Indiana. Chances are, if Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell were healthy in that Cavs series, who knows what would have happened then? So it's just too many things.
You're okay.
Excuse me. It's been too many things that have gone Jason Tatum's way, and he has not produced like he should be producing. Don't get me wrong. 4-1, 4-1, 4-0 is great. 2 losses, 12 wins. Great. But those are against East opponents. Nobody in their right mind was ever expecting anybody but the Celtics to get out of the Eastern Conference Finals.
No. Yeah.
Everybody knew that.
Right.
The books knew that. We knew that. Everybody knew that. You know? So it's like,
yeah, there was no dark horse there. You know, there was nobody that we thought that, well, they haven't. No, there was nobody. Now, there was the potential, you know, because again, the Celtics showed it. The reason you can't always fully trust them at times is because they played down to the competition. There was no lucky for them this year. The East had nobody, you know, because in another year you play down to your competition like that, like they did against Indiana. I mean, they may have been out early, you know, if it's not for the fact that the East has nobody really to compete with the Celtics, and that's why they did win 4-1, 4-1, 4-0. But still, they slipped up at times, even against opponents that, you know, they shouldn't be. I mean, there's no reason if you're the Celtics to be struggling that much with Indiana.
Because they play down to their competition. Whoever comes out of the West, it's not going to end well.
No.
Like, we're talking about somebody from a totally different conference that's way harder than East competition. So if you're playing down to them, that's on you. You're going to lose the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, in defense of my boy from St. Louis, Jason Tatum, this year he's played 14 games in the playoffs, 40.5 minutes per game, 26 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, 5.9 assists per game, 1.1 steals per game. His field goal percentage is 44.2, and his 3-point percentage is 29.0. I know it's not West competition, but those are pretty healthy friggin'
They're good
stats.
Numbers against bad teams, but we've seen it with him missing free throws even. I mean, one thing those stats didn't point out is at time, I mean, if those free throws and against Indiana, they ended up winning, you know, in 4 games, luckily. You do that against Dallas or Minnesota, those free throws Tatum tends to miss. Those are going to bite you against a good team, a real good team. You know, I mean, Indiana's a good team. They're definitely a good team, but a really good team like Minnesota or Dallas, probably going to be Dallas, truthfully, but no, you can't do that against them. And here's the other factor. Kyrie, how's he going to play against ball? I mean, will he just go balls to the wall? And I mean, you know, will he want to just absolutely destroy him? You know, probably, man. He may have that killer instinct going, man, and he may be looking to just absolutely kill these guys, man, because he hates Boston. You know, he
better worry about winning Game 5. You do not want to wake up Minnesota, a Timberwolf that's asleep. You don't poke them to wake them up, man, like a sleeping bear, man, because the T-Wolves have been hibernating this whole series. I think they played it like crap. And back to Boston real quick. Jabari, do you think some of the way Boston plays has to do with their coach? I mean, you know, he seems I mean, I don't think they're a very aggressive team, and maybe that's him. Maybe they're playing not to lose. What do you think?
You have a fair point. I'm not gonna say no to that. I do think his coaching style and Ime Udoka's coaching style are a little bit different. Mazzulla tends to take his foot off the gas, it feels like sometimes. Right. So, I mean, no, you're not wrong in that regard, but I mean, is it gonna take for them to lose another championship for him to figure out that's not the right way to coach? I hope not.
I hope not too.
If it happens, it's on him. It's on you. There's no other way around that. So, I mean, partially that is on your starting 5, right? Because again, if they get Kristaps back, excuse me, if they get Kristaps back, there's no excuse. Even if Chris Thompson is 50%, they're still drastically better than either the Mavs or the T-Wolves at that point. Okay.
Right.
So we're just gonna have to see. I hope Kyrie goes and gets his revenge against Boston. I still disagree with the way Boston handled the Kyrie situation, but this is Kyrie's time to shine. But they got to close it out against the Wolves.
And that's that's got potential to be a really good series. No doubt about it. I mean, Drew Holiday is definitely going to be a different matchup to have to deal with for Luka and Kyrie than Ant-Man and McDaniels. Not that McDaniels a very, very good defender. Made all defensive team. But Drew's right there too, man. And I think he's a little bit more physical too, because you'll see Holiday guarding bigs sometimes and getting into them. And I mean, he guards 1 through 5. He can. He's that type of defender, man. You can put him on anybody.
He's fastly becoming my favorite player in the NBA. I'm just saying. I friggin' love him. All right.
You're late for that. He's been doing
this. But I don't hear anybody else coming to that party. I mean, I've had the popcorn.
We've already went to the party. We went to his coming out party when they won a championship with Milwaukee, and come on, we've been there. You're just late.
Let me get to 2 other questions. 4.5 to 5 points. You take Dallas in the next game, guys, plus 4.5, plus 5.
Yeah, I don't think Minnesota blows them out at all.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can roll with that for sure.
And then finally, and I'm going to stop because I had some guy yesterday give me crap. He told the old man to shut up, and the old man ain't going to shut up. But let's get back to the more exciting sport in the playoffs, and that's the NHL, okay? I don't give a shit what any of you guys say. The NHL playoffs blow the NBA playoffs away. They usually do every year, and they especially are this year, okay? We have got
been a lot of 4-1 series in the NHL this year.
Florida, but look at all the overtime games. Florida,
not a lot compared to years past.
Florida, they just had 3 in a row in the Florida and New York game. Let me get to what I want to say here. Florida and New York now 2-2. Dallas up 2-1 in their series with Edmonton desperation mode like Florida was last night. Figure on an exciting game, close. Don't be surprised if you get overtime tonight. And if that series goes 2-2, I think we could be looking at 2 7-game conference finals with about as much intensity as any playoff series that you'll ever see. What do you guys think?
Possibly. I mean, I think a Stars Panthers Stanley Cup Finals is probably our best matchup.
Well, hey, what about, but the Rangers with Shesterkin playing the way.
I mean, they've just been getting outplayed so bad. They're lucky they're even tied right now, and that's going to catch up because as I thought, they had a lead. The Rangers have been really good when they have a lead. They've been really good in overtime, and guess what happened last night? They lost a game when they scored first. They usually don't. That doesn't happen. And they lost a game in overtime, which usually doesn't happen. To me, that's the only reason the Rangers have been able to survive the overtime game that they lucked out winning. The Panthers are probably going to win this in 6.
I agree 100% on the under tonight for sure. Totally agree. Now, the NBA is overrated. NFL is scripted. Okay.
Daryl coming in with the
he's coming in
with the conspiracy theories and the he's like, I got this. Let me handle this.
Okay, Randall called me today to give me a stat that I didn't know, that Ottinger, Dallas, has only lost 1 game on the road in all of these playoffs.
Yeah, they've been dominant on the road. Yes.
So, well, yeah.
The only game they lost on the road was in Vegas because they swept Colorado, and and they're building. You know, they won every game at when Colorado was the best home team in the NHL.
Yeah, I know. I remember losing some money on
yeah. Well, you were anti-Dallas. You were on the Thunder.
Anti-Dallas. No, I was
on the Avs.
I was pro Jabari.
You were hoping the Thunder would. You were hoping the Thunder was loud enough to cause an avalanche, but it never worked out that way for you, did it?
I know, but the Thunder did a lot of damage to
what?
To Jabari's car. He had a storm.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't thunder. That was a tornado.
That's different. Yeah, that's different than thunder, Bob.
Okay, thanks for the. What are you, meteorologist? What?
No, I mean that's just common sense.
Okay, all right. Anyway, I think we got a shot at getting 2 7-game series. Don't you dare count out the Rangers at home in Game 5.
You think Edmonton and Dallas is going to go 7?
If Edmonton wins tonight, I think it's got a shot at going 7 games. But I want to point out one other thing, and then I'll let you take over, Mike. Plain and simple. The New York Rangers have been, I don't know how many games they've actually been the dog at home. The whole Carolina series. And if I'm not mistaken, every home game so far in this series. Okay? Now, they were the number 1 team in the East, and they're a good home team. What are the books thinking by making them the underdog? That would make 5 times in the last 2 series, and they're probably going to be the underdog again tomorrow night. I've never seen that before.
Well, here's one thing you can look at. The Florida Panthers have pretty well dominated them the last 2 games, and the Florida Panthers are also really good on the road. Matter of fact, they're a better road team than they are home team. So you have to take that into account. And if we remember in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year, they were dynamite on the road in the playoffs. You know, they were just absolutely dynamite. And look, the Panthers are just absolutely dominating this series right now, it feels like. I mean, the Rangers have no answer down low for the Panthers once they start, getting their cycling going and possessing the puck. And none of the Rangers big guys are stepping up. I mean, Panarin, Zibanejad, none of them are stepping up right now.
But the first 2 goals they scored last night, guys, it was not being able to freeze the puck and a scrum of people around. That's the only way they could really beat Shesterkin last night. If it wasn't for the scrums, the Rangers win. Bottom line is Rangers have won Game 1, Game 3. They win Game 5. They're winning the series. It'll go 7 games, and they'll win in Madison Square Garden in Game 7 and be back in the finals. That is what I think could happen. I'm not opposed to the Panthers. They got 2 ex-Blues on there, and I love my Blues. So, Mikkola and Tarasenko getting another cup, that would be great. All right, I'm done. Jabari, you got anything on either of these series?
No, I'm just hoping Florida can get to the cup. Obviously, I want Dallas to go, obviously. But, I would like to see the Panthers win this one. I don't know why. I just like to see the Panthers get the cup this year.
Okay. My only problem with them is they throw rats on the ice, and that's just stupid. I mean, the whole idea behind the octopus is because an octopus has 8, legs, tentacles, and that back when with the original 6, you had to win 8 games in order to win the Stanley Cup. That's where the octopus came from. The rats on the ice, that just came out of nowhere. And I really, unless they got a lot of rats around there, it doesn't make sense.
Well,
okay.
No, I don't know, but
there's no tradition.
Clearly you don't like it. Now, if the Blues threw rats on the ice, you'd think it was the coolest thing ever, probably.
Well,
it's tradition, rats.
In the old arena, they wouldn't have to go far to find them.
Well, there you go. So you've been all about that.
Sitting in the seat next
Maybe that's why you don't like it. Maybe you have a phobia
Oh my God!
I think you've been around rats so long, maybe so early in your life that you're just scarred from them.
I used to. Well, never mind. I'm not even going.
I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it now. I don't even know what.
Oh my God, we were going on such a great tangent right there, and Bob just killed it. He was
because there's like with his mind, there's no telling what he was about to pop.
I wanted to hear it.
I don't.
No,
I personally want to hear the tangent.
No,
yeah.
Just saying.
Go watch the movie Willard. Okay, you'll see why I don't like rats. But anyway, I really don't see the tradition there. I'm a guy who likes tradition. There's no tradition in throwing plastic rats on the. It's just dumb. It's just friggin' dumb.
Okay.
You think so?
Huh?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Man, we don't really know the reason behind it. You don't.
Well, I tell you what. While you're looking at positive EV, I'll look it up.
Great, yeah, and I'll decide for myself if it's legit. I'm hoping this thing's got like a great story behind it, and you look so goofy for ripping on it. There's a real sentimental reason behind doing it, man. Brings you to tears.
Oh my God. This is about as stupid as it could be.
Well, let's hear
the verdict.
According to legend, a fan threw a plastic rodent onto the ice the night after MLB evidently killed a rat. Oh my God.
Okay.
And it's starting a unique South Florida ice hockey tradition defining the year of the rat. Panthers supporters joyfully hurled rats onto the ice throughout that unforgettable season to celebrate every goal scored.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get that one. I'm not sure I get that one at all.
No, I mean that one's interesting. Now he killed a rat in the middle of a game.
A rat on October 8th, 1995. A rat entered Florida's locker room, causing a ruckus, and I guess Scott MLB. You remember he played for the Blues?
Yes, I remember him.
Yeah, he killed the rat.
How did he kill? Like with a stick? Did he slap shot him against? I kind of want to know that. I kind of want to know. I mean,
how did the rat die? Let me.
How did the rat die? All right, I'm hitting this on Fliff right now.
And then you got Nashville throwing catfish on the ice.
Okay, well, there's probably a lot of catfish in Nashville. They like to fish, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I still don't get it.
I have no idea with that.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? Maybe hockey's just not as cool as you thought, Bob. You don't see them doing that in the NBA, throwing rats on the court and fish.
They got enough players who are rats. Oh, did I say that?
You did.
I did because
you've been waiting to use that one.
The NBA's pissing me off. I'm sorry.
Why?
I expected more.
What are you so mad about?
These playoffs have sucked. I'm disappointed.
I mean, this Minnesota Dallas series has been very good, I think. I mean, most of these games have been close. We've seen the step back three from Luka. We've seen Kyrie going off in the fourth quarter and taking over and a close game, and we've seen a lot in this series. We've seen some big defensive plays down the stretch, and I mean, I don't know what you're hating on.
He's just a natural born hater.
Yeah, I think so. I get it. I think so.
We like Bob in the world.
Yeah, exactly. At least I would not throw a rat on the ice. I can tell you that.
We're never going to hear the end of this.
No, I guarantee you're not. Especially if Florida makes it to the finals.
Yeah, that's fair. We still don't get it either, but hey.
No, I don't either. But I don't know. I mean, that's your sport. You're the hockey guy.
Oh, you god darn right I am.
Well, there you go.
With a 7 and 8, a 9 and a 4 pick winning streak in these playoffs, I deserve to be crowned hockey king.
Do you now?
Oh, you're god darn right. who else out there is on those rolls?
Oh,
It ain't him. It ain't Randall. It ain't Jabari. It ain't
Guilty.
Man, look at you. Look at you, go, man.
It ain't Tony. It ain't Kia. It's Bob.
Calling us all out. Calling us all out. Just like a king would, sitting on his throne, screaming at everybody like he, boy, we ought to rip that crown off your head, Bob. Take over the damn place. Get out of here. You ain't ruling over us, man. Get out of here.
Anyway,
you didn't even know why they threw rats on the ice. That's how much you like hockey.
Well,
everyone knows that, bro.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you guys a question now. Who's winning tonight, Edmonton or Dallas? Who are you picking?
Dallas.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Dallas, man. I'm taking the underdog on the road again. They've been dominant in the playoffs, and if what we saw last game out of Dallas, other than that first period, they got it going. And, I know Edmonton ended up tying it. Dallas had that lead. But, again, those two early goals for Edmonton, after that, Dallas settled in and looked great. Ottinger's the better goaltender. Obviously, the big question is Skinner in net again tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I think I would have sat him.
Mike, I told you about him at the beginning of these playoffs, and you did not agree with me. So
I said he was good enough for Edmonton to get on a run. I didn't say he was the best goaltender. I mean, they're in the Western Conference Finals, but that's about as far as they probably make it because he looks awful right now.
I know he does. Especially
that third goal by Robertson was bad. Yeah. I mean, he looked freaked out. Like he's in goal. He's trying to hold the post. And Robertson is just sitting there all alone, just flips it by him. Skinner looked like he was, shooting a fish at him or something, like he was scared of it. It's like, stop the puck. What are you so jittery for?
Guys, the goaltending in the Rangers-Panthers series is, if you're not watching, you're missing a display of some great goaltending on both sides. But Bob's been really good too. I mean, they have both been outstanding. There has been some great goaltending, and you know what, Ottinger.
Oh, Ottinger's right up there with him. I mean, no matter what,
the puck pass.
So long as Dallas does end up beating Edmonton and winning this series, regardless of who Dallas plays, it's going to be a good goaltending matchup. Shesterkin, Ottinger, Bobrovsky, Ottinger. But I do think that Florida Dallas will be an all around better series.
Okay. All right. Let's go home. Jabari, I really want to see you play that piano one of these days. All right.
I used to play piano in high school. I don't play so much anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll let you have my keyboard. You can practice. See you, folks.